Hi, my name is Sean. I am a pinsetter mechanic. I'm certified to work on Brunswick A, A2, and jetback pinsetters. Today we're going to be doing adjustment 20, which is the moving deck cable adjustment. This one does require a little bit more effort and a little bit more thought than the previous adjustment. So let's get started. Alright, so we're going to cycle the pinsetter. The book says 290, anywhere between 290 to 300 is where you want to do it. So let's get there. So the way that I was always told on where to get the deck in this adjustment particularly is when you look at your crank arm, you want that straight up. Once that's straight up, then you should be a pretty good ballpark of where to be. We're gonna go look. We're gonna go look at what we're gonna go see what it looks like, and see if we need to move it. Remember, power off always. There's supposed to be a gap there, and there's not. Interesting. Not much of a gap, just a half-inch gap, something like that. And this has no gap, and this is really loose. Interesting. Huh. I don't think I've ever had a machine that still fucking works with not having a gap there. Very, very interesting. Alright, well anyways, we're gonna need to move this. Okay, so for this adjustment, you'll need a 3/4 wrench, a 9/16 wrench, and a pair of vice grips. If you're wondering vice grips just helps you grab onto the turnbuckle, unless you have those hex turnbuckles that those are, Jesus Christ, those hex turnbuckles are really, really nice. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead, tighten this up. Right. This side is ran all the way in. So, fuck is this? This top's ran in all the way. That's what I usually like to do, is run in one side completely, so then, ooh, there's a smaller one on it. Yeah, so if it's not 9/16, and it's gonna be half an inch, just because I don't want to say it's two different styles, but for some reason, like a newer cable that you'll get will be half inch, and then all the older ones will be 9/16. So I don't know why they went smaller, but they did. Now that we have our half-inch gap plus or minus a 1/16, we're gonna run it through several pinsetter cycles. We're gonna run it through several strike cycles, or second ball cycles. Then it says observe if the observe if the pins wobble when placed on the lane. If the pins wobble, cycle the pinsetter manually and observe if the guide fingers or the lower front edges of the deck chutes contact the pin as it goes up. My pins are more than likely going to wobble because of my lanes, as I've expressed very openly in previous videos. So we're gonna go through, and I just want to make sure that the deck's not hitting it in any way, shape, or form. So that's what I'm looking for. If your lanes were installed properly, then you might want to look for the wobble, but I think honestly, as long as the deck does not make contact with the pin as the deck is coming up, then you should be fine. Okay, well, when I was looking, they seemed fine. So I'm going to get it to 270, then run it through manually the rest of the way to kind of slowly observe if the deck is moving it. All right, well, I'm gonna call that good. So recap real quick, because you want to get the pinsetter between 290 and 300, or when your crank arm is straight up. When you get there, of course, shut off the power, and then you have that vertical roll pin in the deck, and you want to make sure that between there and the moving deck there's a 1/2 inch gap, plus or minus a 1/16. The way to do that is you're going to loosen your jam nuts on the turnbuckle, and you're either going to tighten and loosen, give or take on your situation. Once you find that, you're going to run it through a couple, they say strike cycles, but second ball cycles do the exact same thing. You're going to run them through there, and then once you've kind of watched it go at a normal pace, then I like to check and go through manually just to make sure that there's nothing that I can't see as it's moving full speed. This is seeming fine to me, so I'm going to call it good. This is the end of the adjustment. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you want to share the channel, be my guest. Other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye.